guys, what's going on? Dannielle Vaclavik here with Dannielle's Airbrushing. Today we're going to talk to you guys about something a little more simple, and we're going to dive into something a little more along the airbrushing lines and do an American flag. It's been quite a ride and a journey on this American themed troops and veterans 01 Harley-Davidson Fat Boy tank here. I have finished the veteran side of World War II with the Tuskegee Airmen and the USS Arizona that was bombed in Pearl Harbor, which is very sad. There's still a memorial in Hawaii for that. Coast Guard helping them out, and we have a D-Day soldier on the famous D-Day invasion when they invaded Normandy. And you can see that I have some of the stuff masked off here for doing some of that American flag. I basically started out with the front. I've put in some of these ghost stars. I don't want to take away from all the detail that I have on the sides of the tank. So I just went in with the base Galaxy Gray, which is actually the base underneath this tank, to that, I believe it's Organic Green by House of Color. Their candy is awesome. Their Shimmerin have some awesome effects and almost like a pearl. So I went in and put the Galaxy Gray down there, and then I just went in with the candy over the top of that, and I used a nice clean stencil for my stars to go over so I can get that nice clean effect. And their sharp crisp lines, that's what we're going for. I also ghosted in some dark candy. I added some black to the Organic Green and reduced that down a lot and just kind of splotched in some black so it's darker to kind of simulate that ghosting effect of the flag, that dark blue that's in there. So you can see this taped off line that I have, which, so this front is going to simulate the blues and the stars, and then on the top we're going to do a very, very ghosted effect of the American flag itself, the stars and stripes. And we're going to show you some cool tricks with reducer, and no paint, and some tricks actually that you might use for yourself hopefully someday, whether you use a paintbrush with it, or I have these things called tortillions, which is an artist tool, which is actually like a bunch of rolled up paper basically, but it's got a nice point. So if you dip this in reducer, it soaks in the reducer really well because it's paper and it just absorbs it. And you can actually go in and take out some of that paint, and it works to create some really cool ghosting effects, which I'll show you. So I'm going to go in, and I have my American flag taped off on this, and we're going to just ghost in what would be the red, but in this case, since we're doing that ghosted effect, I'm going to use just a very reduced black to get that effect of the lines and separation to give you that American flag look. Again, we're going to be using my favorite Iwata HPC Plus Series airbrush. My favorite. Awesome for detail. It's got like a 0.35 millimeter tip in here, so it's really accurate and really precise. Love it, love it, love it. Alright, so as you can see here, I have kind of my setup for the American flag stripes. Just kind of like a basic, because again I want my nice clean crisp lines, and all these spots that fold over is going to be where my flag folds over and has a few wrinkles. Just want to touch up some spots, make sure I have it pretty much exactly how I want it, and get ready to go. Alright, so I'm going to go in and just drop in those shadows, and as it gets down to the bottom we really want it to fade out. To the top I have my nice crisp line. This is where the blue starts and or the stars, so we're just going to focus on the ghosted red stripes right now and get those lines in. And again, this tank is compromised, so originally on this 01 Fat Boy you'd have your gas gauge on the left and a simple gas cap over on the right, and your gas actually goes in here. This is actually a fake gas cap, it's just your fuel gauge. So we're going to be painting those gas caps with the logos, the We Ride So They Fly logos, and normally you would not paint inside where the cap goes because the gas gets in there and the fumes eat and work their way under the paint. So generally you want to leave a little lip, generally a 1/4 inch around down to bare metal when you clear coat it, because you don't want that gas getting in there. So that's what I meant when I said it's compromised, and generally there's a strap that goes probably to about here. Some people get the whole strap, So again, this is a raffle, so I don't know what somebody's going to be doing with this, whether or not they make like a little bike and put it in their man cave and do something with it or whatever, but we're going to act as though nothing is going to be in the middle, and that's why we're not going to spend a lot of time, but we're just going to throw that indication of the American flag and give it that real final crisp, clean look. So if we're going to go in, just pretty high pressure, wide throttle, pretty much wide open on the airbrush, and we're just going to go right against the tape and drop in those lines, and down at the bottom fade it out. So we'll bring it right to the top pretty much, and then just kind of splotch in some indication, because again there's that dark green under there that we don't want to get rid of. So we want to keep that alive, and you'll see how this will look ghosted when we remove the tape, and I might go in with some of that Galaxy Gray and drop it in on the white stripes to really make it pop. So then on the outside we really want this to fade. This is a very light indication near the eagle wing, so we barely want anything in there. Yeah. Top at the top. Again. Same thing. The eagle wing starts up over here, so we don't want to get too close. Feather it out. Feather it out. Right against the tape to make a nice clean line. I ran out of paint. Alright, so fade that down, get that nice crisp line, fade it out into the eagle wing. I think we're ready to remove our tape. We'll go in, put some indications of that white, and I think we'll be rather happy with the turnout. So, that, and you can see how quiet those lines are, and I definitely am going to leave it alone. I don't want to throw any Galaxy Gray on there. I actually really like the way that looks for a nice effect on that. You can see how now I have those sharp lines, and I haven't painted anywhere in here, so anywhere I have those sharp lines, this is where I was telling you guys you can take that tortillion. I have actually two different sizes. Actually I have a lot of different sizes. Apparently this is a number 3 and this is a number 1. I think they go up several sizes, but if you let it soak in the reducer, you can see it kind of soak into the tip, and I can go into those sharp edges and just go in basically like an eraser, and then it just dries up. This is also why I like to clear coat underneath things that I do, because it really allows you to go in and play with the reducer. So I'm going to go in and clean up just some of these lines that I don't like. That was actually the only one, really. But now you can see where I have my line for the blue up top, how that's really darker. That's really going to pop. But again, in the sun and when this is cleared, this is all going to be green. It doesn't look like it, but it is. So, I'm going to go in and drop some indication of stitching. And that's what I'm going to use my tortillion for. So I'm going to get it nice and soaked. And I'm just going to go in, and on the bottom of every row, there is usually stitching. So, we're going to start here. We're just going to go in and remove some of that paint and give the indication of stitch work. And don't be shy with the reducer. Really get it on there and just make some nice scratches. And while I'm doing this, I'm building up paint on my tortillion from that black, so then I can go in on my white, and even though it looks like just reducer, when this is cleared, you'll be able to see this, believe it or not. It's just on the black, I really have to scratch it. Now, I'll go in with my 1/4 inch tape, which is awesome because it's really good for like pinstriping and stuff. Really thin, easy to work with, and then I can go in with tape and tape everything off that I need taped further. And we're gonna go in and try to follow some curves of the flag. Grab some scissors here. And this is really nice pinstriping tape. It's really nice to work with because you can get these nice, tight, crisp lines. I think it's 3M tape or frog tape, actually, but it's 1/4 inch. It's great. So, if this is the fold of the flag, this is the dark spot. So, I want to tape off both sides of where that is going to be. And there. Now I'm going to do this several times, you know, throughout the flag in different spots, but just to get a few wrinkles. Like this one I'll do across the whole section, and then maybe I'll do some up here, but we're not going to get crazy. We're going to do like maybe 4 or 5, and that's about it. So, and we'll do a walk around now. You can go in with your airbrush and just send it. I just like to go in and take the extra time and maybe use some tape to get a more crisp line so you don't get any overspray again. The whole goal is to get nice, tight, clean lines, which is very important in airbrushing, and it makes your piece stand out that much more so you can get that eye-popping, realistic detail. So again, we're going to go in with that same blacked out color and basically just feather it in. And less is more for this, really. So I'm just going to go in and almost just like the way I painted the red stripes, that's exactly what I'm going to do here, and it's going to create folds and dips. And then again, as we get towards the edges, we're really going to feather and fade it out. So, here we go. Traveling with the direction of the flag, and really, again, less is more. You'll start to see those highs and lows pop up as we go. Now we're going to start getting a little crazy and doing stuff that's not symmetrical, because realistically life is not symmetrical. So here we go. Looks like there's a wrinkle. Right in here. Why not? You know, just have some fun with it. You know, this is your world. You can imagine whatever you want. It's part of the fun. Get it as tight, get it as wide. You know, and I just have some simple reference images up. But we're going to trust our airbrush ability and just go on in here and feather it in. You know, we don't have to be super specific, but as we get towards the edge, fade it out. Then kind of an indication of dark. Let's see what that does. Yeah. So, you know, we're just kind of making some some waves in our flag and getting a little creative. So now I'm gonna go in, just drop a few up top. I think coming in from this way. And once I remove the tape, I can also go in and kind of fluff that as well. Bring it up. Freehand. Never hurts. Yeah. Guys, I really like this. You know, just a ghosting indication. It's amazing the effects that you can pull off with adding the reducer. Really all kinds of cool things that you can do. And again, we have all those ghosted in lines for that stitching. Now I just gotta finish up the caps and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, we've got our final product here. Just need to finish the caps and sign, but you can really see how that American flag is really ghosted. And it even looks black right now. It's not clear coated, but that is candy green in there. That will pop. You can see all that coming out. It's pretty cool. So, just gotta sign it, send her off for clear. The next video will be me wet sanding and buffing this, so stay tuned for that. You get some really good pictures and really see these colors pop. So we did the Pow Maya, the current side, You Are Not Forgotten. This ship is actually currently selling the USS Russell for the Navy. A little fighter jet. Little guys in the cockpit. U.S. Marine Corps. This guy took me 8 hours alone and he's tiny. Kills me, but I love it. I love all the detail on the gun and stuff. The gloves, his earpiece, his radio. He even has a watch on his left hand. Crazy, crazy hours. Got about probably 60 hours in this tank. Come around to the front. Got those stars. Then we have the memorial side for World War II vets. Got our D-Day soldier when they stormed Normandy. And you can see the different style of military weapons, and this guy's not even wearing any gloves. Doesn't really have any armor on, he's just got a jacket. What a difference in ages. Got the USS Arizona, which was bombed in Pearl Harbor, really sad. Tuskegee Airmen, which you can actually see that I wrote it on the plane. Props spinning and everything. Got a little Coast Guard ship with the little American flag flowing off. All the cannons and stuff on the ship. Took me like 6 hours to do this ship. And we have our Eagle. This one's gonna be awesome, guys. Really excited about this. So stay tuned for some more videos.